Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. Welcome. I'm 𝗟𝗏𝗿. I'm so glad you're here today. While people are coming on, I'm just going to chat a little bit with all of you. We have an event coming up on April 17th called AI Renaissance, How Women Are Redefining Possibility. What we wanted to do today was give you a preview of some of the wisdom that you're going to experience on April 17th. Our event is from 8 a.m. Pacific to 8 p.m. Pacific. As you might imagine, we are reasonable humans, and we attempted to plan an event that was a few hours long that people could thoroughly enjoy in a relatively manageable amount of time. And we have so many juicy topics and so many amazing speakers that it had to be 12 hours. There was really no other way to do it. And truth be told, it could have been 36, 72, nth number of hours, because we have so many amazing women in AI around us. Okay, we are live. And Rachel, can you give me a thumbs up if we're live on YouTube too? You see us on YouTube? Yeah? Okay. No? Yes, no? Okay. While folks are coming on, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I see a few of us have chimed in on LinkedIn. Delighted that you're here. This is also streaming on 𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗏 YouTube. So whether you are here right now or watching on the, oh good, you see us. Okay, good. Watching on the replay, welcome. We're delighted you're here. So again, my name is 𝗟𝗏𝗿. I am the founder of 𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗏 and the CEO of Empowered Fundraiser Consulting and Coaching. In my role with 𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗏, we unite accomplished women to advance AI for global prosperity. That's the mission of our organization. Oh, hi, Lulu. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Diana. It's so nice to see people showing up on LinkedIn. And I can't wait to bring our presenters on in a moment, but first I have to brag a little bit about them. So in 𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗏, which is one of several beautiful communities out here of women in AI, we have an academy where we do all of our education to the public. Then we have our 𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗏 Society, which is our membership community where we do a ton of education, peer-led education within the community. We also have the 𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗏 Consulting Agency, as well as our Policy and Public Affairs Unit. So that's a little bit about 𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗏, and we partnered with Empowered by AI podcast, which is run by 𝗦𝘁𝗲𝗀𝗿. We partnered with her on this upcoming event called AI Renaissance, How Women Are Reimagining Possibility, which is on April 17th. If you'd like to just hop right in right away and register, there's a QR code in the corner right there. Just point your phone at that with the camera screen open. You'll get a link and you can RSVP right there. So without any more delay, I'm going to bring on, hi, Linda. Oh, Chef Kelly's here. I'm going to bring on my esteemed colleagues who are going to share with you some of the ways that they're using AI in their lives and in their work to make an impact. And I really wanted us to have this time with you today to share just some brass tacks. Like, we talk a lot about AI in spaces where, we're talking about governance and policy and what's happening with all the companies, et cetera, and the countries, et cetera. But what we wanted to focus on today was giving you some really tangible use cases that you can steal and begin applying to your own work immediately. So I'm going to bring on folks. Some of these will be new faces for you. Some of them are old friends. Rachel Zipsey. We've got Flory Stefanescu. We've got Deanna Leonard and Marisol Rios. I'm delighted that you're all here. Hey. Michelle should be on NPR. You're right, Linda. I got it. Hold on. Let me tag that. Michelle should definitely be on NPR, and she should, her first story should be about all of this amazingness. So, you know what? We didn't talk about who's chomping at the bit to go first. Who wants to share first? Deanna, you up for it? All right.
Girl, I'm up for anything. Let's go. Let's go.
Tell us who you are, where you're tuning in from, and what you're going to share with us.
So, hi, I'm Deanna Leonard, and I see a lot of colleagues and a lot of coaches and a lot of coachees and a lot of very cool people out there, names popping up in the chat. Hi, you guys. So I am a recovering corporate executive who was in Fortune 500s for many, many, many years. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story when we get into my presentation. And I'm currently an AI brand strategist and a future LinkedIn advisor for 𝗟𝗲𝗏 Society and a future investor relations and strategic partnerships leader for 𝗟𝗲 AI. So lots of good things happening, all as a result of communities like this. So with that, if you want, I'll go ahead and show my screen, if that works for you guys. And give it just a second because it might go a little crazy as we get started, but then I promise it'll get better. It does that when you share here. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Not quite yet. Oh, one moment. I just need to press a button. There we go.
Oh, okay, that helps.
It should be going now, but it doesn't look like it. Can you try again, maybe?
Sure, because I did it before you press the button.
Go for it, yeah.
Okay, hang on one second. I got to escape out of it. Come back to you, and we'll try it one more time. See, you guys have a very low bar that go after me to follow. So, very cool.
Oh, here we go.
Awesome. Awesome.
Good job. Look at us.
All right. So we have max 5 minutes to talk. So I talk really fast. Those of you who know me know I talk really fast. I'm going to walk you through just a couple of fun things. And Anne asked specifically for a business case and a framework, which will happen at the end. But I'm the business case. So I'm about to share some personal stuff with you, but really cool stuff because I think we all are living life together. So with that, let's get started. So my story kind of started with Where is the Joy? This is a new version 7 mid-journey picture, which I got to say, guys, version 7, I got a learning curve going on big time. I have some funny things happening out there. But the last corporate job that I had, I was driving in every morning, and in my head, what was going on was this tape of, I don't think I can do this anymore. Somewhere along my corporate journey, I lost my joy, and it wasn't working. And I went through a pretty major health crisis as a result. So I had to make some pretty big changes. And I promise you, this is going to AI. Just hang with me. This last week, I turned 60. So my runway is a whole lot shorter than it used to be. And one of the things that I never did growing up or as a young woman or as a career woman was say no. I never said no. And many of you are the same way. You never say no. You do everything for everybody. You take care of your boss, you take care of your team, you take care of your business, you take care of your friends, you take care of your family, you take care of your bank account, you take care of travel. And it's exhausting. So this is my year of no, but it's also my year of yes. Because when you start saying no to things that are out of your control, that you don't need to manage, all of a sudden, all these beautiful yeses open up. And one of the wonderful things about AI, it allows you to say no more and more and turn things over to it as your personal assistant. And I'm loving that part. So last night I posted this particular picture because it's a dedication to all the beautiful communities that are helping each other, because we can't do it alone, right? As we're learning these tools, there are so many fabulous people that'll be there on the 17th and that are on this call right now that are lifting each other up, that are helping each other heal, and that are helping each other launch some pretty amazing businesses. I have the wonderful privilege of working right now for 𝗟𝗲𝗏 Society as an AI brand strategist. I have coached 29 women and 1 male in that program at all different levels, whether they've never owned a business before, whether they've raised 5 kids, whether they're taking their business to the next level. And one thing is certain, they're all amazing. They're all healing from different trauma, because guess what? If you grew up, if you were a child, you probably had trauma in your life at some point. And they're all realizing the AI tools are helping reshape their life. And some of those business cases are the cases I will be taking you through on the 17th. And there are some fun stories. Like there are some doctors that have retired that are opening a craft business. In fact, Dr. Perry just got on stage this week and I hung up with her this morning. She's got a great story. Here's the deal. The way I see it, we are a mosaic of people that can make a difference for each other. Because leveraging AI requires adjusting your focus. And it almost does it for you. As you start to learn these tools, you realize there's a whole nother way you can go about this. And I'm specifically sharing this image because I'm still blown away every time I see it. I had a really hard day one day in the coaching world. You know, sometimes it drains you because you want so badly to help, and sometimes you can't. And so one night I entered a contest just for fun. And I woke up last weekend, right before my birthday, to a message that this image is going to be displayed in Times Square. In Times Square. My little piece of artwork in Times Square. No one could have ever made me believe that 10 years ago. That's a pretty amazing thing. So adjusting your focus, getting rid of the stuff that you don't need in your life, leveraging the stuff that you do, all of a sudden some amazing doors open. I put this one in here on purpose as well, because I was born in an era where this is how I spotted my mom. I spotted my mom by the height of her hair as she was walking down the grocery store aisle. The higher the hair, the closer to God. That's what we say here in the South. And it's so, so true. The better the tools, the more you step into who you are, the better the business. But there's one thing you have to do to make that happen besides learn the tools, and that's get out of your own way. And people like 𝗟𝗲𝗃, I always slaughter her name. People like Marisol, people like Sarah, the people in Secret AI, the people in She is AI that I've worked with, Amanda and Rachel, have been just amazing at helping me realize that I've got to get out of my own way and I've got to stop saying yes to things that don't make sense for me. And I had the most incredible talk with 𝗟𝗲𝗃𝗏 via Facebook last night, where she really made me realize it's time to just plow forward and do what I need to do. So here's my framework. And it sounds silly, but it's so true. And I have one homework assignment for you. Your gifts. I had a woman call me last week and say, I think I want to do this, and this, rambling. She said, but I don't know what my gifts are. Like, I don't know what I should really do. So here's the assignment I had for her, and here's the assignment I have for you. And I'm going to tell you her results. I want you to find the 5 people you hang out with the most. Your 5 besties, your 5 whoever, your 5 family. And I want you to ask them 3 questions. The first question is, what am I known for? Like, what am I really good at? Like, when you think of me, what do you think? Find out what that is. Number 2, what should I walk away from? What should I stop doing? Like, what should I not be doing for a living? And then the last one is, if you could find 3 words to describe me, what would those 3 words be? So just yesterday, this woman called me back because she did this experiment and she was blown away. She had no idea what an impact she was making on people's lives. It literally changed everything for her. So do yourself a favor. If you don't already know the answer to those questions, do that homework assignment. It will make such a difference. So that's number 1. Your gifts, your skill set, your expertise, your network. So many people are chasing the fancy AI magic versus stepping into who they are and using AI as the tool to grow their business. So one last example, and then I'll shut up so other people can talk. I was ignoring a couple of different people that were chasing me on LinkedIn to ask me questions because I went to MBA school with them and I knew who they were and I knew what industry they were in and I didn't want to be in that industry. Well, it turns out they grew up too. And one of them is a CEO of a very big company that wants me to come in and do some rebranding for them. And had I not ignored that, I would have been doing it sooner and faster. My point here is your network is your secret sauce. Your network is your gold. So many people think they learn AI and go find people in other places. It's your network that already exists that can help get you to the next level. And with that, I'll stop because I already talked about leaving the pleaser and the perfectionist behind. I think I did that for 5 minutes. I talked pretty fast. If you want to find me, go find me on LinkedIn or find me at She Is AI Magazine, or find me at Secret Study, or find me right here, or find me on Instagram. Lots of fun things happening and lots of great client story case studies I have to share later. Okay, I'll stop.
Thank you so much, Deanna.
You are so welcome.
I love the letting your top 5 people chime in and tell us, what am I known for, and what should I absolutely not do?
It will surprise you. I actually called one of my old CEOs, one of my favorite, smartest men I ever knew, and he gave me the straight scoop, and it was very telling. It was really, really good feedback. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, 𝗟𝗲𝗋𝗄𝘃, coming over to you. Rachel has oodles and oodles and oodles of use cases, and every single time we DM, she has another one, and they are so good and so juicy. I have no idea how you're deciding which ones you're sharing today, Rachel.
You know, that's a really good question. I worked on 2 new ones since we last talked this morning, so I'm having so much. I appreciate the opportunity. And Deanna, and so true. I echo some very similar storylines. And I'll share very quickly a little bit about myself and how I ended up here. A year ago, you said I would be talking about these topics. It's been amazing how fast it's changed. I don't think I would have believed it. Like I said, my name is 𝗟𝗲𝗋𝗶, and I'm from Advanced Performance Solutions. And solutions at the same time of starting a number of different things. I opened Advanced Performance Solutions consulting and coaching organization, and I coach a number of small businesses throughout Midwest and out east. Some of the things that we got into doing during that time was I also launched 𝗂9sport.co and 𝗏𝑠p.com, organization that builds websites and has a software for K9 sport industry can bring broad through a number of different solutions. And we launched that last year. And then I also work with Odin's Heart Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that helps caregivers of rare genetic diseases. So I have a lot of opportunity to use AI to be able to keep up and do all of the things. But it's really about being strategic and taking all of that stuff on how can these opportunities and how can I use these tools where I implement one tool, but it can impact my entire organization or my customers' organizations. And so when I look at the technology and where we are right now, the word that I keep coming back to is forward. And we can look back and see where we did in the last 2 years, or we can see where we are right now and ask I've got too much opportunity. I have to pick somewhere to move forward. And so first understanding where you're going and what Deanna said is really super important. How do we transition that? And that's what my session's going to be on when we talk. So I built a quick tool last night and this morning that I did in 𝗏𝗏𝗏, because I have another philosophy that says, go out to the newest tool that will have the most impact across my entire business and do the hardest thing you can possibly think of first and see what happens. And I have done that since the very beginning. And it's a little bit different. Instead of this building blocks and learning how to write prompts and doing those things, I've never learned that way. That's just not how I've learned. And my entire corporate career prior to starting this was 25 years of invention and reinvention for the floral industry, from the technology standpoint, through the operations standpoint, through the sales organization. So if you're thinking about your entire business and you're thinking about where do you start? So I use a lot of ROI-based work, and I'll share my screen really quickly just to give a use case of diving all in on 𝗏𝗏𝗏 with just an idea and a paragraph of really rambling thoughts, created the tool that I am working on here. Let's see if I can, there we go.
Rachel, can you do a favor for the nice people and share what is Manus? And before Rachel does that, I'll just share that I am completely obsessed with Manus. I think that I have seen the future, and I think that anyone making any business decision today before using Manus is making a mistake. You should use Manus. If you have a CEO you love, or you are a CEO, use Manus, get them to use Manus, and then make business decisions. But I'll leave it to you, Rachel, to say what it really is.
Well, and I don't have words for it right now. I don't even, if you would like to jump in and give a good explanation for it, because it is basically, and help me out here. I'm gonna butcher it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not agentic, but good, Halima. It's now, by the way, it was. Okay, so it's not quite agentic, but it is so very close to it. And the fact that it is off the rack, it's $40 a month. First time you log in, you're going to get something mind-blowing. It takes the place of multiple knowledge workers, for better or for worse, right? But facts is facts, it does. So this is, I know Rachel's going to show us one example, and there's many of just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So the prompt, so if you go to Manus and you think about this, $39, okay? And my prompt was, I would like to build an ROI calculator. Here's the name of it. I made up the name. Here's my logo. Here's why I'm doing it, why I'm building it. And then I said, plus, if I want this to make this available for all of my clients. And then I want to be able to see if my clients are using this so that we can kind of keep track of, are we doing it? So I'm going to use this as a coaching tool. But I use this also in this mindset and the way that I walk through this process myself. And my prompt was, build me this website and have it do these calculations. And I really wrote down just what the calculation inputs were. So let's try it. Let's see what happens. I have to do it, I believe. There we go. Are you able to see? It's very hard to see which tab I'm using here. I apologize. And can you see the main screen where I'm typing in my name and address? Okay. So now this is very rudimentary. I did it this morning, last night and this morning. So what I like to look at is my historical cost of where I was in the roadmap for the number of customers this would impact. Then I want to understand, how am I going to implement this? Where are my cost savings going to be? And how much was my traditional project going to cost me? And then am I going to have any other institutionalized cost savings, time savings? And then it would come in and pretty much start telling me my investment. So I'm really going to go quick because it's not perfected yet. Willingness is really to not have it be perfect on the first 2 attempts. If it was perfect, then that'd be great, but that's not how I create. And when my clients are looking at it, I want them to be thinking about their total business. I want them to be thinking about all the different things that you get downstream that you might not have line of sight on because you're so excited about the new tech that you're putting in. So the traditional historical costs, I didn't have any additional license fee per month, but the savings license fees was going to be a $99 license fees per month per indication of using it. So we put in these numbers and I'm just going to put a bunch of it's going to save 40 hours a month at an average rate of $25, and say it's going to save infrastructure cost, admin cost of, call it $2,000 for over a year. And going on through these different revenue streams, you also want to put in there, well, if I'm going to do this faster, how much more revenue can I generate? So let's say it brings up a new software fee and the number of units per month and the value of those units. And let's say that it's going to be for a 12-month period. And then this is going to calculate out when my original launch date was. And what my current launch date is now going to be. Here, step. And it can calculate the, let's see, original project date that needed to know when it was supposed to start. So we'll put that in July. Let's see there. And it will calculate the results. And so I want this very quick. I don't want to have to go to Excel. I don't want to have to do it the old ways that I have been doing it for years and years when I'm thinking about strategic opportunities. And the tool, when I get done with it, it'll probably take me about another hour or so, will allow me to be able to show my customers a new way to think. So when I look at this from an implementation standpoint, from a consulting standpoint, when you're opening up a consulting business or you're trying to take this information and build it into a corporate organization of why it's time to invest in these tools right now forward, it really is about doing an ROI that's going to make sense to whatever that audience is. And for this is a real life scenario. We were able to take Poddesk.com. We have a new product that was going to come out in it was supposed to be July of 2026. We have our roadmap already set for where we want to go with the product. We've been building it for 2 years. Well, in 𝗏𝗏, I was able to achieve the back end and the entire setup of that, provide it to my developer. And what those dates that I put in, I am launching this new feature in July of this year, which is pulls up an entirely different strategy. But it doesn't mean that we were going to go do it. Just because the dollars were there, I had to think about all of the things associated to that and what the other downstream impact was. And those are the things that we can use AI right now to get there faster and go implement, which is amazing. This was just one tool that in 1 week's time brings that value. There's so much more, and I'll share more when we do the event.
On the 17th. Awesome.
Yes.
So I'll pop this. Oh, thank you, Rachel, so much. So it's a little bit meta, but I'll share that for tools like this dashboard that Rachel whipped up in fairly little time. I mean, we're talking about writing a good prompt and then a little bit of conversation with 𝗏𝗏, maybe a little bit more conversation, maybe a little bit more context or an upload, and then all of a sudden she has this totally dynamic dashboard that she can use to tell the story of the value of her services. So in AI, one of the things that's so challenging if you're an AI consultant is how do you demonstrate the value that you're bringing to the table when we're in such uncharted territory? Nobody knows, there are no benchmarks, right? There are no like, oh, hey, so-and-so over there, they got a fully agentic system and it only cost XYZ amount of money. First of all, no one can agree on the definition of agentic. Second of all, what does money mean? What does time mean? All these things have lost the value that we formerly put on them. So when you're trying to make a case for your services, Rachel's example is absolutely perfect. So if you're showing the potential cost savings or the better client journey that leads to, revenue increases, et cetera, all of a sudden you can say, look, my fee is about 2% of the revenue, the new revenue you're going to create, or the cost you're going to save, or the profit that you're going to build for your company. So that is an awesome use case. Let's see. Flory, coming over to you. What are you going to share with us today?
Hello, everyone. I'm chiming in from Sacramento, California. My name is Florentina Stefanescu, or Flory, as my friends and colleagues call me. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine and a Qigong-based mindfulness teacher, a fertility coach, and now an AI artist and storyteller. For over 25 years, I've walked alongside women in their most intimate healing journeys, especially those facing fertility challenges, hormonal shifts, chronic illness, or trauma stored in the body. Many of my clients are heart-centered, sensitive, creative professionals, women who once had a strong voice, but somewhere along the way, life silenced it. Let me ask you something. How many of you here feel like you've lost touch with your creative side? Or maybe you've been so busy surviving and serving others that you've forgotten that your inner voice, how your inner voice even sounded like. If that's you, you're not alone. I've been there too. So my story began long before I became a practitioner. I came to the United States as a political refugee from communist Romania, from a world where it wasn't safe to speak your truth. I carried that silence for years. Even while helping others heal, I was still carrying unprocessed trauma in my own nervous system. And I treated it through movement, through mindfulness, in medicine, and it helped, but not quite. Some parts remain buried, silence, out of reach. So then something unexpected happened. I joined a mastermind group by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi to develop a fertility course. And they introduced me to ChatGPT. I thought it was just a tech tool. And when I started talking to it, something shifted. It remembered what I said. It asked thoughtful, open-ended questions. It listened. And I realized I felt heard. I felt like someone was hearing me and seeing me. So I began sharing more, not just course ideas, but emotions and sensations and images from my memory. And ChatGPT started asking me, where does that feel in your body? What color or what texture or what image would that be? And from there, we started turning my words into prompts. And I took those prompts and I put them in Midjourney, and which is an AI platform to create images. And let me give you an example. I once described a tightness in my chest, a heaviness that I couldn't shake. And together we turned that into a prompt. And Midjourney gave me an image of a rose made of iron caught in a rainstorm. It was just beautiful. But it reflected back to me something that words couldn't explain, couldn't express. And in that moment, and many other moments like it, helped me release what I had been carrying for decades. Now, I'm going to be clear here. This is not therapy. It's not supposed to replace therapy. It's not supposed to replace your professional treatments or your human connection, but it's a gentle companion. It's a way to process emotions between sessions, or process emotions when you're not ready to talk about them yet. It's like a doorway to connect with your body, with your voice, and your vision. Let me pause and ask you something again. Have you had an emotion that you couldn't name, but you knew really deeply? That's what this process is for. Letting your body speak through images, not just words. You don't need to be an artist. You don't need to know how to draw or paint or be creative. All you need to do is willingness to be honest with yourself. The process is the healing, and the image that comes out, it's a mirror. I've now began sharing this process with women, with creatives, with healers and professionals who want to reclaim their voice, process unspoken emotions, express themselves through intuitive AI-generated imagery, and gently reconnect with their body's wisdom. So if you can recall a time when you wished someone could see what was going on inside you without needing you to explain it, this is what this does. It gives shape to the invisible. So what I've shared with you today is just a small glimpse of what I'll be teaching at the AI Renaissance next week. And during the full session, I'll be offering a custom chat GPT that you can use to explore your emotions, generate healing prompts, and create expressive art in Midjourney. You'll learn how to speak to ChatGPT about your inner world, how to create prompts that feel emotionally true, and how to use Midjourney to turn those feelings into art. And that's it. I hope to see you there.
That sounds amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on that GPT.
I'm very excited about it.
I loved that phrase that you used, that AI can be a gentle companion. It's like, it's not something that we need to be our end all be all at the moment, but it's our gentle companion, a presence to walk through our lives alongside us. And it's amazing how much AI actually does witness of our lives that we want
And
it to,
how
let
doesn't
alone
judge. That's the biggest thing. It's not judgmental. So I am so free to communicate, because I know at the end of the day, it's never going to say, well, you said that or you thought that.
Yes. Yeah. I remember that one time when you got that one fact inaccurate, right?
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, Flory.
Thank you.
So for those of you who want to hear more on this, don't miss Flory's session, and the QR code for the AI Renaissance event on April 17th is in the corner. You just point your phone at it in the camera mode, and a link will pop up and you can register. So now we have 𝗟𝗲𝗍. 𝗟𝗲𝗍, I'm gonna make you big here. I think I'm gonna try to. Yay! It's 𝗟𝗲𝗍. Hi.
Hello, everybody. Oh my God, I am gonna like piggyback on everybody because I've used AI for everything in my life, and one of the biggest things that I see is healing, and I totally use it for that. Just starting to use ChatGPT has changed my life and has healed a lot of stuff. So, and I use it for my spiritual practices, similarly as how Dr. Flory explains it. So I'm just like, yes, I am swimming in AI in every aspect of my life. And I am very happy to be here and show you how I use it very personally, specifically for my ADHD, because hello, everybody, we all have ADHD, especially here, especially we love AI. If you love AI, I think you might have ADHD because it helps so much to multitask and all this jazz. So I'm super excited. And for those who don't know me, my name is 𝗲𝗏𝗍𝗏. I am the AI witch. I'm tuning in from El Paso, Texas. I am an AI artist, creative, consultant, speaker, everything AI. I'm an AI person and a branding expert. And my goal in life, which I discovered with AI, it's to help neurodivergent, witchy women unleash their magic with AI. So I like to blend storytelling, automation. I'm really getting there with automation and visual tools to help women feel seen, supported, and powerful without burnout. So I didn't have a deck, and now I do. Because that's how magical AI is. So here we go. Let's see here. Share. Can you guys see my presentation?
Yeah, we can see your Canva.
There you go. All right. So this is my goal, unleash your magic with AI. But today my use case is AI for ADHD and creative clarity. So my workflow, one of my biggest workflows when I'm feeling really stuck and I'm very stressed and I'm overwhelmed is I just open ChatGPT, and this is one of my favorite prompts to to choose, and I say, act as my ADHD productivity coach. Help me prioritize 3 tasks based on low energy or depending on the energy I have that day. Encourage me gently and give me an affirmation. So it gives me a mini action plan, like respond to an email, update a Canva post, organize your AI art folder, which that needs to be done like almost every day. And it tells you, if it makes me feel better. It says you're doing enough small steps to moving mountains. So when I'm stuck, I want to create. I also ask it, help me choose between AI art or content writing today. It helps me pick one of the things that are aligning better with the project. And the fact that you can just like you can riff with it. And like it was said, it's a companion. The world is your oyster. You can do so much, and it really helps you. You can ask it to give you a Google Doc. You can ask it to give you a PDF. You can even do a Google Sheet from anything that is giving you, so you can really stay organized. So it works because it's not just about being productive; it's co-regulation. It's so important to be at peace and not feel like you're always on fire, because it's not putting out fires. It feels like you're on fire. Like it's chaos all the time, or at least that's how I feel sometimes when I have so many things to do and I like to be involved in so many things. So this image right here, that's how it makes me feel after a conversation. I feel peaceful, and yes, you can see extra hands. Yes, because now I can do so many things at the same time. So I'm working, but I'm regulated. It makes me feel great. And I will share with you, I do have, if you feel like you need something like this, I built, of course, a custom GPT for this. And I can share with you now. I will bring something that ties in together as well for the Renaissance conversation, which I will be speaking about sisterhood, AI helping us build sisterhood, softness, and sharing support systems. So this itself is a support system. I believe that with this GPT and using chat in this manner really helps you. You even build a sisterhood with your GPT. So it's all connected. We're all connected, as you can see.
This was really good. So everybody, if you don't know, 𝗟𝗲𝗶 is the design genius behind She Leads AI. So when you go to our glorious website, when you see our beautiful designs, it's all 𝗟𝗲𝗶. Thank goodness that you're in our midst. And I appreciate so much the work that you're doing, particularly around the ADHD, because that's my main, that was kind of like my doorway into AI, was being able to calm my ADHD brain that at the moment, because I had long COVID, wasn't functioning very well to begin with. And it's been remarkable how well ChatGPT specifically has enabled me to manage my life differently than I ever have before, and also to understand why certain things are happening with my ADHD, because I know that ChatGPT isn't a doctor, and yet I'm not afraid to ask it health-related questions. Like, why is this particular thing happening? Is this a symptom of ADHD? And usually it comes back.
I feel
yes.
more trustworthy than WebMD.
It's more trustworthy than WebMD, absolutely. All right, so on our way out, I'm just going to share one more juicy little use case. It's not exciting, it's not sexy, it's super ugly duckling, but I'll share this because it has been so impactful on our business. And we are going to wrap up in about a minute, but the way that we use AI that has led to the most revenue increase, as well as the quality of the work that we do, is we start with the AI meeting recorder. So you can choose anyone under the sun, right? They all have pros and cons. There's things not to like about AI meeting recorders in general. There's things to love about them. We tried them all. We settled on Fathom. So we use Fathom AI. We record all of our meetings, and with clients, if they choose to not have us record a meeting, they do pay an administrative charge from us for us having to take notes. So pretty much everyone in our sphere has kind of just come over to our doing it our way, using the meeting recorders. And then just like everybody else, we of course have the notes and the transcript from there. But then we take those and we run them through a custom GPT that does 3 things. The custom GPT summarizes the meeting, just kind of, I've got a bunch of criteria that it just summarizes it as. Then it turns it into a contact report for our CRM. So in my CRM for a sales meeting, it's always going to have the what did we discuss, what agreements were made, what's the timeline, what are the pain points, how much is the budget, that goes. And then it drafts my email based on what I have found to be most successful over 25 years of a sales follow-up email, or in my case, a donor gift conversation follow-up. So the email flows, it's in my voice, it has exactly what it needs to, and all of that process then, instead of taking about 45 minutes, it takes about 5 minutes for me. So now we're able to get back to our clients with very specific information, exactly who agreed on what are the next steps. And I always ask them, when would you like me to follow up with you? Or how would you like me to follow up with you? Which is something that I always forget. It's the ADHD factor. If I do my follow-up email by hand, I will never remember to include that line, but that, the fortune is in the follow-up. If I can't get them to follow up, then I'm in trouble. So I need to be able to ask that. So that's my use case that I'll offer, is just meeting recorder into a custom GPT, exactly whatever you want to have happen with that data. I use it to go into my CRM, a follow-up email, and then a to-do list that I can delegate to the rest of my team. So there you have 5 use cases from today in rapid fire. There will be many, many, many more over the course of our day on April 17th. I hope all of you will join us. I'm so grateful to my co-hosts. Thank you so much, Marisol and Rachel and Deanna and Flory. If anyone hasn't done so yet and you're watching, please do connect with our folks on LinkedIn. You probably can't miss us. We're everywhere. And I think for most of us, we have unique enough names, or if you put AI in the title, you'll find us. So thank you, everybody. And we will see you on the 17th, I sure hope.